Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And boy, not a bad day today, was it? We did see some clouds at times, some sun to start our day, but temperatures in the mid-40s, and that's about 4 degrees above where we should be this time of year. 41 is our normal as we look down the beautiful Wenatchee Valley and the Columbia River. But we do have some weather to talk about, and it will begin tomorrow, and it will be windy tomorrow. Gusts around Washington, especially the areas in yellow. We'll see the strongest winds, and that includes us in Wenatchee. 33-mile-an-hour gusts are predicted tomorrow, but we may even see gusts around 40 miles an hour. And also, as you make your way south around Yakima, they will expect 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well. All part of a very rigorous and vigorous storm system that's moving down from Canada, and it will cool us off as well as we make our way into the end of the weekend. We'll talk much more about this new weather storm moving in on us a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. The 2 victims of apparent carbon monoxide poisoning in Cooley City Monday night have now been identified. And the final Wenatchee Valley Empty Bowls Community Painting Party is this Sunday. But first, we begin tonight. A bill to abolish the death penalty in Washington state is headed to the House after it passed a bipartisan vote in the Senate yesterday. NCW Life's Steve Hare reports.
Senate Bill 6052 would remove capital punishment as a sentencing option for aggravated murder and then require instead a sentence of life in prison without parole. Governor Jay Inslee imposed a moratorium on capital punishment in 2014 and following yesterday's vote, said he hoped the state would join other states that chose to end the death penalty. In fact, a study from Seattle University in 2015 found that death penalty cases in the state cost $1 million more than similar cases where capital punishment is not sought. Now, 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins voted in favor of the bill and afterwards issued a prepared statement. Hawkins said, quote, "I value life and believe that those who do should not sanction government killing, especially when technology could exist at some point in the future to exonerate those convicted." He also said he agreed with comments from his constituents who called the death penalty inhumane, flawed, and expensive. He added that he does not believe that the death penalty, because of the long delays, is a deterrent. Lastly, Hawkins said, as a Christian, he would rather allow more time for prisoners to find salvation. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
Steve Hare also talked to several people this morning in Wenatchee about the state's death penalty and the legislation making its way through the legislature that would do away with it.
We're here in downtown Wenatchee talking to folks about the Senate action last night on the bill to abolish the state's death penalty. We wanted to get a gauge on how people in Wenatchee feel about that. So what are your thoughts on the Senate's action last night banning the death penalty? That bill's now on its way to the House. What are your thoughts on that?
And that's in Washington State?
That's in Washington State.
Well, you know, the death penalty is one of those kind of like abortion. It's really a tough issue. I totally agree. There's certain people that just shouldn't be around, and unfortunately we had a school shooting yesterday. That's one of those things that comes to mind. That, and there is a death penalty in Florida. But at the same time, I'm always concerned that even if it's a 1 in a million shot, I never want to put someone to death that could be innocent. And we have seen cases where somebody's been on death row for years, and then based on new DNA evidence, found out that they weren't really guilty. And so I don't ever want to be the person that put somebody to death that really wasn't guilty. So benefit of the doubt, I guess.
Well, I think ultimately it comes down to upholding the law. If indeed someone is guilty of the crime that fits that capital punishment, I think that I guess I'm for it.
You know, I think that it was a little bit on the older side of things. You know, I think that it was part of our country and how it ran stuff. But I think that there's some wicked people on this earth, and so sometimes in rare occasions it might be appropriate, but luckily we haven't had that here in Washington. So it'd be interesting to see what happens for the near future.
How about you? Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I know when people do end up getting the death penalty, it takes such a long time and there's so many appeals and things like that. It probably is just going to end up saving money, honestly, getting rid of it. So yeah, I don't think it's very efficient as it is anyway. So I think probably it'll maybe be better. I'm not totally sure, but I guess we'll see.
In general, I have always opposed the death penalty. I believe that it really is a cruel and unusual punishment. I believe that people, if they're convicted of a crime and they serve their time and they get life, I think it's worse to just be incarcerated for life than you're dead, because you're dead, you're dead. I mean, you pay for your crime and you're dead. But if you're in jail, you are there waiting to die forever. So I believe that that's more suitable for a person as more punishment than just killing a person. I just don't believe in killing anybody.
Those are but a few of the opinions we got here on the streets of downtown Wenatchee. As for the bill itself, the death penalty abolishment is now headed to the House, where it is expected to pass. And then Governor Jay Inslee has already indicated that he is opposed to the death penalty and will likely sign that bill if it crosses his desk. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
The two victims of apparent carbon monoxide poisoning in Cooley City Monday night have been identified. Grant County Coroner Craig Morrison says they are 72-year-old Kenneth W. Gomez and 68-year-old Roxy May Egler. The pair were found in their home Monday night by a landlord. Grant County responders say Gomez and Egler were overcome by carbon monoxide from either a propane appliance or a propane heater. Their families have been notified. The conclusive causes of death are pending the results of lab analysis, which may take several weeks. Well, coming up next, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is hosting a live auction this Saturday night, and a Wenatchee family is humbly asking for the community's help. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old, fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Welcome back. In another news, the final Wenatchee Valley Empty Bowls Community Painting Party is this Sunday. It's hosted by the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, with all proceeds benefiting the North Central Washington Food Distribution Center. Alan Walker, newly hired executive director of the council, spoke this morning about the event on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz.
Sunday, we'll be down at Pipus Market from 1 to 4. It'll be the last of a series of 4 different weekends that we've been down there for the Empty Bowls fundraiser. So you can come down to Pipus Market. They're on Worthing Street from 1 to 4 p.m. this Sunday afternoon. Hand us your $10 donation. We'll hand you a bowl and provide all the painting supplies. You decorate your own bowl, and then you get to come back on March 10th for dinner. And dinner will be at Wenatchee High School. Usually about 250 to 300 people show up for dinner, and we have a soup dinner. So at the Wenatchee High School on March the 10th. So
you actually eat out of the bowl that
you
made?
actually eat out of the bowl
cool.
that you make. Yes, yes. You actually get to eat. We number all the bowls, so we know which bowl is yours, and you get to take the bowl home with you.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is hosting a live auction this Saturday night. NCW Life's Megan McPherson has that story.
We're here with Don Davies, the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Humane Society. Don, can you tell us about what's going on this weekend?
We're having our annual auction for the animals. This is our biggest and funnest fundraiser of the year. And the theme this year is Life's a Beach. So we're encouraging everyone to dress up like your favorite parrot head or wear your flip-flops, put your aloha shirts on and come on down. It's a silent auction. We have about 100 items in our silent auction. And then we have a live auction with some amazing getaways and dinner, lots of experiences, about 20 of those. Our auctioneer is Cody Hodge. He's local, so he's a lot of fun. And a buffet dinner, and it's all kind of island style, so only $65. And people, if you want to get your tickets, you can visit WenatcheeHumane.org or give us a call at 662-9577. The annual auction for the animals helps support the mission of the Humane Society, which is to protect, educate, and adopt. We have nearly 5,000 animals that come into the shelter every year, and we do everything we can to give them the best experience that they have. We give them enrichment. We work with behavioral. Many of them need medical attention. They're all spayed and neutered, microchipped, and vaccinated by the time they're rehomed.
The auction will be held Saturday night, February 17 from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Megan McPherson, NCW Life News.
A Wenatchee family is humbly asking for the community's help. NCW Life's Jay Seebeck has more.
On Sunday night, Wenatchee lost a much-loved member of its community. John May, an over 20-year resident of Wenatchee, passed away quietly. His wife Lori was preparing dinner for their daughter Jordan while John rested in his room. Lori went to get John up for dinner and found that something was wrong. John had passed away. He was the provider for his family. His wife Lori works for the Eastmont School District, but the loss has jeopardized the family's ability to pay for their home. This is the same home that his oldest son Chris would have me and some friends come over after school to play the new Tony Hawk video game on his PlayStation. There is a GoFundMe page set up to help ease these financial struggles for a family that could use a little help in a time of grief. John was well loved by this community, as the small amount being asked for on GoFundMe has quickly been raised since Tuesday. In the first 22 hours, the post has generated nearly half of that $7,500 mark, a small amount to ask for a family who needs a little bit of help. John is succeeded by his wife, children, and grandchildren. With NCW Life News, I'm Jay Seebeck.
You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
Hi there, my name's Patrick and I'm the branch manager here at New American Funding. Applying for a home loan is an exciting time. You may have a lot of questions about how to meet your home loan goals, the loan process, or your borrowing options. We're here to help. We do things differently here at New American Funding. Not only do we have an array of loan products and a team of specialists to support you, but we get to know you personally. We want to earn your trust and business for life. So stop by our Wenatchee or Chelan office or give us a call today.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Thursday. The Cashmere Bulldogs basketball team lengthened its season last night at Eastmont High School by coming out on top in its must-win game against Okanagan in the District 6 1A tournament As we go to the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard, Tyler Kurt drained 7 three-pointers, finished with a game-high 25 points, led Cashmere to a 54-46 win. The win propels the Bulldogs into a home Caribou Trail League Northeast Day Glue crossover game Saturday at 5 o'clock against Lakeside. The other CTL NEA game has OMAC hosting Newport Saturday as well. On the girls' side last night, first back to the Eastmont High School we go for the final round of the District 6-1A tournament. Our Les Schwab Prep scoreboard shows OMAC downing Okanagan for the second and third place game, 42-37 the final. That means the Pioneers will host Freeman in the CTL Northeast Day Glue crossover Saturday. Okanagan will play at Lakeside. Also in girls basketball last night, it was the first round of the Central Washington 1B tournament with Eniat knocking off Wilson Creek 65-22. Riverside Christian got by Pateras 55-49. Now we move on to the prep schedule for today as the girls CWB 1B tournament continues at Eastmont Junior High. Pateras facing Wilson Creek at a loser-out game earlier today. That's coming up, followed by at 7:30 by Eniat and Riverside Christian for the district championship. Here's the schedule for the boys' part of that same tournament, also at Eastmont Junior High School. Must-win situation for Eniat, taking on Moses Lake Christian. We'll get that score for you tomorrow morning, followed by Central Washington 1B District Championship between Riverside Christian and Pateras at 6 o'clock. The District 6 4A tournament continues for the Wenatchee Panther boys. They'll be on the road for a loser-out game against Sunnyside tonight. Tips up at 7 o'clock. So too does Moses Lake's game at Davis. Should the Panthers and Chiefs both pull off big upsets, Wenatchee would have a home game for the district championship Saturday at 7 o'clock. First things first, though, 2 games for the Panthers and Grizzlies tonight at 7 o'clock. A Wenatchee win and Davis win would mean a trip to Yakima for the Panthers Saturday for the district title. Hockey night right here tonight on the NCW Life Channel will feature the Wenatchee Wilds game against Langley from back on February 3rd. It turned out to be a great night for Wenatchee as they led the Rivermen from the start to finish. Our checker had the call here on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Over in the far wing, flicks it back up top to the point. Zach shot tipped on the way and rebound score. Murphy Stratton swats it home. The Wild cash in on the power play. It's for Vanderbeck as he comes into the zone. Drop pass Zach. Backdoor shot, score! Murphy Stratton finishes it off. Delayed penalty coming against the Rivermen. Sent down low for Modry. Up high for Vanderbeck. His shot, he scores! And it bounces across. Ponak with a shot. Loose in front, backhander score. There was a extremely broken play. Morton dangles it over for Galambus. Threaded through. Backdoor shot, score again! That's Sam Morton with a beautiful behind-the-back pass from Murphy Stratton. Back to Souter. He'll guide it across and a redirection. Loose in front. Hessler shoots and he scores! And Weatherby walks into his own left side. He's got help. Threads it through in the back door. Score!
Well, you get a good indication it was a good night for the Wild. All starts at 7 o'clock. Clarkie's Corner will have that at 7, then the game followed at 7:15 tonight here on the NCW Life Channel. Finally, pitchers and catchers reported to Seattle Mariners spring training camp in Peoria yesterday after huge turnovers. The roster pretty much the same. A lot of familiar faces for manager Scott Service. The position players will report coming up on Monday. That's Check of Sports News. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Life Channel. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. New tax laws were passed at the end of 2017 that now take effect in 2018. Certified public accountant and director of tax for Cordell Nair & Company, Tim Dilley, says the biggest change in the laws affects United States corporations.
We got a flat tax for corporations at 21%. Flat tax, right? We haven't had that actually on the books. People talk about flat tax and, like, wow, wouldn't that be great? Well, we got it in corporations, flat tax. So is that a good thing? Well, for some it is. If you're a modest corporation, though, remember that now you have now lost the 15% bracket is gone. The 10% bracket is gone. So if you were a corporation that didn't create a whole lot of taxable income every year, but you just happen to be in that particular type of tax structure, you actually lost a little bit of benefit. But most of the corporations we talk about are certainly maybe up into the 25%, 35, 34, and then 34 beyond. In which case, they got a great benefit.
Dilley says the benefit doesn't just impact corporations.
Schedule C sole proprietors, partnerships, and S corporations, right? That C corporation could have been any one of those others, depending upon the size and a lot of other things. But just because of that particular choice of formation, why should these other businesses not get some sort of benefit? So they came up with the pass-through deduction. And why do they call it the pass-through deduction? Because an S corp and a partnership are pass-through entities. Those are entities that file their own tax return, but they don't pay tax at the entity level because they pass out all income or losses every year via a Schedule K-1 that goes out to the shareholders or partners of those entities.
In fact, if you get your paycheck today, you may see a little bit of an increase in your take-home pay because of an adjustment in the tax levels.
If we sort of take out all these complexities, all rates lowered in those lower brackets. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Whether they just get a little, 2%, 3% benefit, I mean, that's still a benefit. There's certainly lots of circumstances where you could say it didn't do much, or it didn't, that guy got more than I got. But, life's not fair. Right. And everybody's tax situation is different, which is why when somebody says that, it's like, it just depends.
You can find out more about the revised tax codes and how they may have an impact on your life with our tax tip series on Let's Learn right here on the NCW Life channel. Watch Monday through Saturday at various times throughout the day or stream on demand on our website at ncwlife.com. We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp programs focus on our 4 core values of caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Make this summer's memories last a lifetime. Pick your theme week today with a wide variety of safe and engaging activities. Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp is the ultimate summer fun in the sun camp for children, teens, and families. Reserve your child's week today.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with the voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life channel.
Papa Murphy's presents a fresh take on fresh. Here's the deal. If it comes from a freezer, not fresh. Box, not fresh. Bag, not fresh. Fresh means just chopped vegetables. Cheese grated by us daily. Fresh means we don't even have ovens, because you have an oven. So you can feel good about feeding it to your home bake our most popular pizza, a large cowboy, topped with pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, and olives. Just $12. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
Time now for a recap of some of our top stories tonight. A bill to abolish the death penalty in Washington state is headed to the House after it passed a bipartisan vote in the Senate yesterday. NCW Life's Steve Hare reports.
Senate Bill 6052 would remove capital punishment as a sentencing option for aggravated murder and then require instead a sentence of life in prison without parole. Governor Jay Inslee imposed a moratorium on capital punishment in 2014 and following yesterday's vote, said he hoped the state would join other states that chose to end the death penalty. In fact, a study from Seattle University in 2015 found that death penalty cases in the state cost $1 million more than similar cases where capital punishment is not sought. Now, 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins voted in favor of the bill and afterwards issued a prepared statement. Hawkins said, quote, "I value life and believe that those who do should not sanction government killing, especially when technology could exist at some point in the future to exonerate those convicted." He also said he agreed with comments from his constituents who called the death penalty inhumane, flawed, and expensive. He added that he does not believe that the death penalty, because of the long delays, is a deterrent. Lastly, Hawkins said, as a Christian, he would rather allow more time for prisoners to find salvation. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
The 2 victims of apparent carbon monoxide poisoning in Coulee City Monday night have now been identified. Grant County Coroner Craig Morrison says they are 72-year-old Kenneth W. Gomez and 68-year-old Roxy May Ergler. The pair were found in their home Monday by a landlord. Grant County responders say Gomez and Ergler were overcome by carbon monoxide from either a propane appliance or a propane heater. Their families have been notified. The conclusive causes of death are pending the results of lab analysis, which may take several weeks. Switching gears now, time for a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to all of those details, as always, let's take a look outside our weather window. And we are seeing some clouds moving in. We did see that throughout the day today. So after a mostly sunny start, we're seeing mostly cloudy skies now. And that means a storm system is moving in. We will continue to see increasing cloudiness throughout our late afternoon and early evening. Highs today, though, were decent into the mid-40s. By tomorrow, a stronger weather system moves down from the north, bringing snow to the northern mountains of Washington, and for us, wind. Take a look at the satellite picture on your screen, and that's all the way up to noon tomorrow. And notice there's an area of high pressure off the California coast and an area of low pressure up in the Gulf of Alaska. The two being so close together increases those pressure gradients, and as those two storm systems move inland, that will bring us all the wind. We could see steady wind speeds tomorrow of 20 to 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Friday night and Saturday, our chance for snow goes up to 60% with the rain-snow mix expected by Saturday afternoon. Another weaker weather system drops down from Canada Saturday night, which will bring us much cooler temperatures and a 50% chance of snow on Sunday. The Arctic front will bring dry and very cold weather to north central Washington on Monday, with high temperatures only in the lower to mid 30s and overnight lows in the middle teens. Those temps will be the lowest we've seen since around Christmas time. The cold air will stay in place at least through the middle of next week. And let's take a look at your 7-day forecast now. Tonight's low 31 degrees. Remember, lots of wind on Friday with a 60% chance of late afternoon, early evening snow showers. Snow and rain likely on Saturday and 50 degrees. Still some wind out there. Snow showers and cooler on Sunday with 39 our high, and then the cold stuff moves in. Monday and Tuesday our high temperatures lower to mid 30s, and look at those lows, 15 Monday night and 18 on Tuesday. Well, and as we leave you tonight, Ambriac Creations is a logo design company. They just came out with this new logo for the Wenatchee National Forest.
Hello, Fernando the designer here from Ambriac Creations, and today is day number 25 of the 30-day logos challenge. Today's challenge is to make a logo for a company, a place called WENATCHEE, I believe it's called WENATCHEE, WENATCHEE's National Forest. So basically, the concept was to make an emblem on top that has the forest and whatnot, but I didn't want to put the whole forest thing because it also has mountains in it, and I was going to put trees and whatnot, but I thought that was too much. So I just made the whole thing green and made a reflection of the mountain in the water, because there's a lot of mountains over there and they reflect off of the water, common sense. And so I just wanted to do a simple gradient with simple font and Times New Roman font. And here we go. WENATCHEE's Natural Forest. Done.
And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with your host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Winter weather has arrived in the Wenatchee Valley, and it's no fun to be stuck outside in the cold, and your dog or cat don't appreciate it either. Paws and Claws Veterinarian Hospital would like to remind you that your pet is susceptible to hypothermia and frostbite just like you. After going outside, wipe off their paws to prevent them from licking de-icer or antifreeze. Dr. Shauna Bayes and her staff care about your pets. If your pet needs medical attention, call 888-PAWS or find them on 4th and Nile in East Wenatchee.